Hi guys, so I'm Joe, I'm the recruitment manager here within Dan, and today I'm joined by Sanjay, who's our strategic planning director within Carat. So we're here to talk about his diverse career path and fluid talent within Denton, what that looks like, and how we have an eclectic mix of people with different backgrounds and different skill sets here within the agency. Did you find that kind of so from teaching to banking to strategy, do you find that in your role today that you still utilise some of the skills that you've learned along that career journey?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, while, as I said, it wasn't really, much of it was just, it just happened and I didn't really plan it. But I'm pretty glad that it did because, for instance, a lot of my comfort in talking to clients or being able to explain things or trying to simplify difficult ideas come from, my days as an instructor, as a teacher. Banking allowed me to have develop a lot of discipline and faith in the rigor and the process and the due diligence and so on. So as much as I didn't like that process, it did teach me a lot. So each one of these experiences has been quite instructive. And I try and leverage as much of it. In fact, I almost try and position it as a strength that I have these diverse backgrounds.
So if I'm someone looking from the outside in and I'm in a totally different profession now, what kind of advice would you give me in order to, potentially make the move over to media if I'm not in a kind of media role at the moment?
I think it's more than, when you're thinking of roles which are not strictly, let's say, traditionally the paths that you follow or not strictly related to the role you're currently in, and you think the biggest barrier is mental, to be honest. There's very little that is done either in media or in most jobs. There are a few really specialist roles which would require years of specialized training, but everything else is pretty much learnable. And if you have the intent and if you have the willingness, and we are particularly good at that internally here because we expose and have a very sort of open culture. So all you need to do is, as long as you're willing to act a little silly and be okay feeling stupid, just ask a whole bunch of questions to a whole bunch of people.
And have you kind of found that, in terms of kind of your day to day and what you do at Carat, have you actually found that you've done, been exposed to different kind of areas of the business and you're kind of doing things that you didn't initially think that you would be?
Oh, absolutely. That happens on a daily basis, I would say. Where there is some part of the business, there's something new that's happening, and our industry is so ever changing that it's almost never that you can feel like you can stand still. So it's good to have experience of, well, let's say, feeling stupid. So the more you felt that, the more comfortable you get, and therefore it takes away some of that apprehension you have of learning something, of asking questions. And I think that really helps. And we are in a business because the kind of businesses from, brands which would sell soaps and shampoos and chocolates and biscuits to clients to brands which are talking about mortgages and insurance. There's a huge diversity of experience and expertise within the building. So it's very easy for you to just walk up to someone and just ask them a question. And most people seem to be quite okay and happy to share their experience.
So you started off in teaching, in banking. You're in media at the moment, so is the next one, you're going to be an astronaut?
Well, if there's an opening, I wouldn't mind.
And thanks so much for your time today. So from a recruitment perspective, always open to having conversations about people's careers. So if anyone would like to have a chat, just give me a shout and we'll grab a coffee.